Good afternoon. I hope you're having an amazing day so far. Today, we're going to have a little longer video because this is a really, really important concept for us to go over, and I know we hear it a lot, so I don't want you to feel overwhelmed in any way. But today, I'm going to talk to you about stretching. Now, often, stretching is forced in our face with the same concept of exercising. Like, you need to exercise more, you need to stretch more, which absolutely, those are really, really great concepts to recommend to people, and I absolutely do. But I also want you to understand, and I want you to feel comforted by the fact that we're all different, and we're all at different levels in our life. And though those things can help us to feel more positive, and they can help us to function better, we don't need to do them all right now, and we certainly should not rush into any of those things. Again, if you haven't ever ran before, don't go on a 3-hour run because it's not going to be healthy for your body and it's not going to feel comfortable for you. Just like with stretching, I don't want you to yank yourself into any position and try to do whatever it looks like. I want you to start off with a small stretch because your muscles are most likely going to be more tense. And I want you to try it at a small time. So if you have like 1 or 2 minutes to stretch something, absolutely go ahead and try that. But don't try to push your body more than it feels comfortable with because it'll ultimately hurt you and damage you in the long run. So I want to emphasize how important stretching is because it really, really helps a lot of components of your body. But I also want you to understand that with any of my videos, you can take what works for you and leave what doesn't work for you. Because we all function differently, we're all built differently, and we're all at different levels in our life. And one thing that has been brought up throughout my whole life at least is people will mention that they weren't born flexible. But I want you to know that none of us are born flexible. We all start at a different location in our life. So if yes, some of us do have bulkier muscle components just by the way that they were raised and the way that they start off their life. And the activity level, there's so many components that go into it. But we all start off in that same rigid point when we're trying to work into a stretch. But I want you to know that you can be as flexible as you want to be. You just have to work to those points and do what works with your body. Now I want to start out today by talking about some wonderful, wonderful key points and thoughts that were brought up by some of my friends here on Facebook on our page. And one of the first comments that was brought up was about stretching to stay fit and so that they do not tear anything as they're a performer. So I think that brings up a really, really, really great point here is that often the most people who stretch are the most active because for their own safety and comfort they have to. But I want you to know that regardless of any activity level that you do have, or regardless of how much exercise you engage in, that stretching can have a lot of benefits for you all on your own. And stretching can protect your joints and your muscles from tearing or any injuries, regardless of how active you are. So obviously it's really, really important for those people who are putting their muscle and their joints under a more frequent and more intense activity level, but it can have benefits for all of us. And another point on that is allowing you to stay more fit. So stretching is a really great way to kind of create a little window for yourself. So say you start off with a 2-minute stretch each day. It allows you to bring that kind of structural area so that you can bring in room for exercise eventually if you want to. Or if let's say you start off stretching 2 minutes a day, it can make your body feel just more comfortable and more flexible and more capable to actually do some of those exercises. So, in a way, it does have a lot of benefits for you. And especially if you have ways that are able to help you stay accountable to those, it can be really beneficial for you. So, I do want to bring up an example there because I think that's a really hard part for people is just holding that accountability. But what I do, and you can do anything for yourself, but one thing that really bugs me is if I don't brush my hair in the morning. So I will wait to brush my hair. I'll basically tell myself that I can't brush my hair until I'm done with my stretching. I know it sounds goofy, but it really does keep me accountable for those stretches, and it makes me feel better to know that I'm stretching and I don't have any of those guilty or detrimental thoughts that's regarding to that. Now, another comment that was brought up brings up some really, really important key comments as well here, is about the time of day that you stretch. So they stretch in the evening and morning, and those are often the most common and some of the greatest times to do your stretching. You can do your stretching anytime. Again, if it doesn't work for you, don't do it at those times because you want to do what feels best for your body and what's most comfortable for you. So even if it's on a break at lunch, do it then. But as far as the morning goes, often a lot of people do that. They do their stretches in the morning because it gives your body and your mind a really great boost for you to get ready for the day. And it makes it so your joints and your muscles are more able and they feel more flexible and capable to do all the tasks that you're going to do for the day. So it helps you to approach your day on a much calmer and a much happier note. Now, as far as the evening goes, it's a really great way for your body to relax and ease into resting, and it's also a really great way to move and prepare your body to be on a calmer level for the next day and a more comfortable level. This is kind of bringing in that routine portion there. And along with that, they did bring up that they did yoga, which I do yoga on my own. And I absolutely encourage the practice if you want to do it. But again, it doesn't work for everyone, and you absolutely do not need to be active or engage in any activity to be doing those stretches. They can have their benefits all on their own. But with yoga, they do provide a lot of those foundational stretches and foundational ways to work through stretches because that's a lot of what yoga is. And if you want to look even at some of their videos, they have some really great examples of so many different and creative stretches that you could get into. But I want to, again, express that no matter how cool it looks, that if you're going to try it, make sure that you're building your body to that point and not just yanking yourself into a position because you can and most likely will injure yourself. So I want you to be safe and do what fits for your body and what works for you and your mind. Now, stretching has so many benefits, like I had mentioned, but even more than these examples. It can provide a source of stress relief in many ways because we hold a lot of tension in our muscles, and I know a lot of us know that. And when you stretch it, when you stretch those key muscles out that are holding all of the stress, it allows us to release those negative emotions that are held there. But it also gives us a sense of control. So let's say you're having a really, really bad day. You at least can understand and control the fact that you can do these stretches and allow yourself to calm down and release whatever has happened for the day. Now, obviously, if you have not stretched, it won't work right away. it won't be comfortable right away either, and I want you to bear with it for just a little bit and see how it works for you, because if you're stretching repeatedly, it'll get easier and you'll feel better, but right away it's gonna be hard and probably not very comfortable for you. But you can also feel some of those benefits immediately as well, where you should already feel that you have stretched that muscle, and you might feel a little bit better about what has happened. And it's a really great way to focus your mind on something that's not everything else around you. It's bring yourself to just you in the moment. Now, along with the injury prevention that we had talked about earlier, other than those protective aspects that it does, it actually allows you to higher function throughout your whole life. So just like a bike, I mean, in a way, we are an organic machine where we're made up of so many different components, different cells and things working to keep us happy and alive. But in a way, we can compare ourselves to a bike in the way that you have to continue to ride your bike and keep it well oiled and clean so that it keeps running. Exercise can be a lot like that consistent riding of the bike, that movement that we do throughout the day. But stretching can be a lot like that oiling. So it'll keep our joints loose and happy, and it'll keep our body feeling well, and it'll keep those muscles more loose and capable of doing more activities throughout our day. And often, it's used in conjunction with breathing, even if we're not thinking about it. It's really cool to see the ways that if you stretch, that you'll automatically breathe in when you start or breathe out when you end. It goes in its own manner, but it can also be really, really great for you to focus on your breath during that time and try to line up your movements with your breathing, because that can be a really relaxing and calming aspect here for us. So again, going back to some of that control for us, it allows us to slow down our heart rate, slow down everything that's going on in the body, release some of those parasympathetic hormones so that we can calm down and just focus on breathing slow and moving with the way that we stretch. Now, I'm going to do some example stretches for you, but before we start, I really want to stress the importance of not yanking yourself into any position. We all are at different levels, and with regards to that, all of the stretches that I'm going to be doing are easy and accessible, so I'm going to be doing them all sitting here for us. And I want you to really try to view the stretch as an experience and ease into the stretch. Treat your body the way that you want to be treated and the way that you deserve, and that'll make it a lot easier for the way that you approach the day and approach other people. And it'll just feel better. I mean, you don't want to hurt yourself, and I don't want you to hurt yourself either. So just really try to take these as slowly and as calmly as you can. And again, when you're doing these on your own, even if it's just 1 or 2 minutes, try to really slow down your movements. So today I'm going to start with a really basic stretch for our spine, because our spine is it's the most important key component to stretch in your body. And you'll even feel that when the spine is aligned, that you can feel all of that energy flowing up and down it. And right away you can tell that it increases your access to energy, it helps your mind function better, and it just overall helps your whole body to move in a more positive, more flexible, more comfortable way for you. So this is something I do every morning, and it always makes me feel super great. I normally do it before I even get out of bed. I'll sit up and do this stretch. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it, but I think that this is one that even though we know about it, it's harder for us to just take a few seconds and do, so I just want you to see all the great things that it can. So, we'll start with breathing in, and we bring our hands above our head, stretching up to the sky and looking up, and breathing out to move our arms down to the side. So we're bringing that left hand onto the floor, our right hand extended above us here, and then moving our hand straight across here. It's like you're spreading across a table here and bringing it back up and looking up at the sky. You can really feel all the places that it stretches in the spine and in the shoulder, but constantly reaching out for this stretch. And breathing in to move back. And a nice breath out here to reset. And then doing the same motion, going up on an inhale and exhale. Bring that right hand down with that left hand extending over as we reach out. Make sure that your spine is still staying aligned and you're reaching out and forward here like you're rubbing on a table. And then bring it up and look at the sky. It's really, really great just to stretch those side muscles, stretch your spine, and it's really great for your shoulders and arms. I love that stretch. Now, another key point for us to check in on here is our tummy. I know that our stomach holds a lot of insecure thoughts for us as a society, and a lot of emotion is stored here. And you can tell a lot of tenseness normally goes into our shoulders and legs, but also our stomach. So it's really important that we're doing something that not only stretches the spine, but also stretches that navel point or our tummy there, and that we're treating it with the love that it deserves. So for this stretch, again, I'm going to back up here so then you can see it a little better. I'm keeping my legs crossed for each of these. This one's a little weird, but it's really, really great on all of your body, and it feels really, really great, especially if you haven't stretched for a while, so, okay. So when you bring your body forward and you extend, so I'm pulling back here with my elbows. You want to start with your spine aligned and move forward, bringing that chest space up, and you're looking up at the sky, and then move to the side, stretching those shoulders and that side muscle, and then moving back, chin to chest, and rounding that spine, really stretching that spine, and go to your side here on the right side, and then come back again forward here. So you can start to line up the breath here and move as you feel comfortable. If you want to inhale when you're coming forward, and exhale as you go back. It's really, 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 really great for stretching out your tummy here and stretching your spine on the way back. So this is also a really great stretch to do both in the morning and in the evening, any time that feels comfortable for you. Okay. So, now that we're done being a little wacky there with that, one of my last stretches here is actually for our shoulders and legs. There are so many stretches that we can do for our shoulders and legs because everybody recognizes that those really tense up. But more than that, they often tend to be the places that feel the best for us to stretch. So this is a super easy stretch, and they go over it a lot in almost every exercise video, but it's something that I do daily, and it always helps me out. So here, I'll move this video just a little down here so you can see. I'm extending my legs straight here. And again, making sure that you're not yanking yourself into any position. You bring your arms up, most likely on an inhale, and bring your whole body extending, reaching as far as you can there, and extending forward over your knees. But again, if your knees don't bend like that, do not yank yourself. Your knees can be as bent as you feel comfortable with here. And make sure that you are doing what works for you. Once you get to this point, make sure that you release your head down and make it the most comfortable position that you can. And I would hold it for a few breaths here and just sit in this position. And then when you're ready, roll slowly up here and back to where you'd like to be. Now, with all of those, I encourage you to do those slower than I did, just because I only have a limited amount of time on the video, but I want you to take all of those key stretches here and see how good they feel for your body. You know, even with that tummy, our digestive tract has so many positive aspects that it plays in our life, and when you're doing that stretch on your tummy and spine, it can help every little cell in your body. It helps those little worker cells to get more energy so that they can do their task a little better. So I just want to stress the importance of stretching and how positive it can make you feel on any of your areas. And sometimes it's helpful even to do it before you even feel any of that tension, because it helps your body keep moving regardless of what it is. So even if you don't feel like it's necessary in the morning, I would encourage you to still do it so that it continues to feel like that in the future and that you continue to feel that well. I thank you for staying with me throughout this video. I do want to go over some housekeeping points, as this is a longer video anyway. I will be posting on our Facebook page before every planned video, and I would love to hear your feedback for each one of these videos. Plus, I love to hear from each and every single one of you, and it just makes me happy to know that it is helping you, and I really hope it does. I will be setting up more of a scheduled video time, so I want to do at least a once weekly video for you and me, and just so you know that I'm there and it's something that you can consistently rely on. But I also want to have some surprise videos here because I think it brings a smile to a lot of people's face in that way too. And I would love any feedback and any thoughts that you have to offer, as I can't do this alone, and I hope to spread as much positivity and as many positive practices as I can. So please let me know any comments or suggestions for things that I can improve on. I already have ideas on my own, but I am always looking for ways to improve, and hearing from you as the viewer would absolutely help me and know things that I can't see or things that are outside of my perspective, and make it a more enjoyable experience for you. and allow me to help you more too. And even if you have ideas, I am always open and I would love to go over anything that you feel is important as well, because your thoughts are just as important as mine and they're just as positive. So please comment, share, like, subscribe to this video, or do whatever you feel comfortable, and help me to spread these positive messages as you feel comfortable. I want to wish you well, and I want you to have a wonderful day, and I want you to know that I'm here for you, and I want you to understand how important you are, and why it's so important that we do all of these practices, not all of them, but do positive practices to help ourselves be happy. Thank you. You have a great day.